Deadpool 2. Okay, Deadpool 2, I want to just say this before I start this video. Those of you who haven't subscribed to my channel, please thank you so much from the bottom of my heart once again. I know I say that a lot, but I can't thank you enough. Please let your friends know about this blog. But Deadpool 2, I don't do movie reviews that like other reviewers like doing they do the movies on opening day or a couple of days before opening day. This is more a blog where I talk about movies. Yeah, it's very random, but I just want to let you guys know before I start this review. Okay, Deadpool 2 is directed by the guy who did V for Vendetta, Atomic Blonde, and John Wick. And because of its track record, this movie really it kind of steps it up on the action scenes. It really gives. I really see the stylistic difference from John Wick on this movie, as well as the more recent Atomic Blonde, directed by David Leitch, if I got it, or Leitch, if I got it correctly. Ryan Reynolds, and he was born to play Deadpool. There is no guy that could have played this, and we want to forget, we want to shoot ourselves in the head for that atrocity from X-Men Origins Wolverine that looked like Baraka from Mortal Kombat. Right? Don't you think? All right. So, okay, Deadpool 2 starts off where Wade Wilson is having a very tender moment with this girl, and she gets shot. She gets killed. So he has to go after the guy that killed her. And in comes Cable, a traveler from a different dimension, who's actually Nathan Summers. Those of you probably read, this is very common knowledge for comic books. Scott Summers and Jean Grey's son, actually Madeline Pryor from the comics, be comic book accurate, illegitimate son from the future, and grows up and becomes a kind of like an anti-hero kind of, and so, and this guy who just did Sicario, as well as Thanos and Men in Black. I want to forget Men in Black too. I really no Men in Black 3. I want to forget that movie ever happened. But so this is a really good. I would say this movie's better than the original Deadpool, and I don't think this movie's bad or anything like that. But it really shares a lot more tender character moments between Wade Wilson and his girl. So Ryan Reynolds is able to kind of let his guard down a little bit and be more tender on this film. But we get to see probably something we've been waiting for. A lot of us have been waiting for a actual fist fight between the Juggernaut and, and Colossus, the X-Men Colossus. So we get to see it, and I know it's go get him, Tiger. Big CGI fight coming. So I know it kind of looks a little bit crappy, but don't you just think it's so awesome? And the theme song, some of the best, the funniest moments in the film happen when the Juggernaut's theme song comes on, and it just really caught me off guard. Some of the best gags and best uh, probably the funniest jokes is when you least expect them, and they're not cliched fart jokes or gay jokes or just all this other stuff that that movies studios really rely on. This is stuff that you don't really see, where it just kind of gets you by surprise, and especially the scene where Juggernaut rips Deadpool in two, so he has to grow back his body. In the original Deadpool, you see him with a baby's head. On here, you actually see him from his waist down as a baby, and he walks up to Cable to shake his hand because he eventually there's actually a throwdown between Cable and Deadpool on this movie. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. It was pretty cool though. And we see Black Tom Cassidy. Black Tom Cassidy is actually for the comics, and he is a partner of the Juggernaut, because Juggernaut doesn't really have any known partners unless, well, if you're not talking about when they did the crossover story with the Exiles from Image Comics, if I'm not corrected. So I really think this is the best Juggernaut I've ever seen on any of the films so far, because we've only had Vinnie Jones, Juggernaut. There we go. I got a pie. So it really this is the kind of Juggernaut I've been wanting. Everybody's been wanting to see. He looks just like the Juggernaut. And talking about X Force, I want to talk about. I'll get into that right now. So Juggernaut is really awesome on this film. I really think because it's a rated R rating, so they're kind of able to really showcase what it would really happen if the Juggernaut and Colossus got into a throwdown. And there's really funny scenes when it happens. He gets the brass knuckles, he gives him a low blow, and the Juggernaut calls him a commie. And there's a part where his pants fall down, his prison pants, and going back to the plot of the movie, Fire Fist is a kid who was raised in this orphanage where there's a bunch of these are the most detestable people on God's green earth, pedophiles, and 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 seeing this is the kind I could bring up all the references and all the different stuff, including Zip It Thanos, but I it doesn't make any sense. There's just way too many cultural and definitely references from different DC the DC they poke fun at the DC universe as well on this film as well. So I mean, I would be here all day trying to do this video, but I'm just kind of showing you guys what I like about this film and what I think is this movie cohesive? I wouldn't say that it's not cohesive, but it still manages to be probably one of the best, if not funniest, films of the year because there's a couple of moments where it's really more tender and it doesn't rely on overly on over the top gore or violence because there is some gore. The gore meter has been raised up to 10 on this movie because if you see when the Juggernaut actually it gives you kind of like a what it would be like if a real person like that existed in real life would probably be able to rip a person in two. So and I want to talk about X Force. X Force, I was very disappointed with X Force because I thought Domino kind of looked like a Spice Girl. She kind of looked a lot like a Spice Girl. Yeah, baby. I really think she looked like a Spice Girl, but I maybe there's room for improvement with the look of Domino because actually the actress is a fine actress who did Domino and X Force. This is the first time it was kind of clued into us that there was going to be an X Force on this film. We weren't sure because the only reason I was sure and a lot of us were because we saw Shatterstar and we have Bedlam. We have the guy who played it on the movie from last year, probably one of uh, my worst of list of movies. It as well as special appearances by Matt Damon and Brad Pitt as the Banisher, and Terry Crews as Bedlam, as well as Peter. And as far as Peter's concerned, I'm not sure if it's comic book accurate, if it is exactly the one from the comics who came out Excalibur, X Men comics, but it really this is a Deadpool is an unconventional comic book film. It's the kind of film that breaks the fourth wall and stuff. So uh, you're not gonna see something that's accurate, and you're not gonna see something that does it. You're gonna see something that's unapologetic and it pulls no punches and it's very in your face and it's very because there's a couple of times in the film where you see that Deadpool really insults people that might offend some people in the audience because when he calls Domino, hey Black Widow, hey Black Widow, Black Widow, Black Widow, or something like that. So like this is a very in your face film, and like I said, you really gotta be ready for a movie like this because it might offend you. But overall, Deadpool is probably one of the best films of the year. I'm gonna give this movie an A plus because it is unconventional. It is not your regular comic book film. It's not an Avengers Infinity War. It's such a huge film. This is more of a departure. This is more of a film that's a little bit more, because it was really disappointing for me to see X Force die the way they died. Their deaths were just so gory and brutal, and at the same time, it was so funny that you really didn't have time to react. You were just kind of so it really didn't give me time to react, but I thought it was unnecessary. But I have a feeling because Cable's going to stick around at the end of the film, and you see Fire Fist, that kid, Fire Fist in the comics doesn't look like that, but I thought the kid was actually he's pretty good. He's a pretty good film. He's actually going to be in 2020's Godzilla versus Kong, so if you're looking out for that, and so I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm actually gonna ask you guys for comments below. Okay, what do you think? Are we gonna see? There is a rumor that there's gonna be a third Deadpool movie that's actually called Deadpool 3: Absolute Peter, because he went back and saved Peter. Because there's a really hilarious end credit scene where he goes to kill the original Deadpool from X-Men Origins, X-Men Origins Wolverines, as well as Ryan Reynolds. He kills himself when he's reading the Green Lantern script. Welcome to the big league. So that's a really hilarious stuff in here, and so I really, what do you guys think? Do you guys are we gonna see a more another Deadpool film with uh, X Force coming back? Because I know Cable and Domino, what's left of X Force, is gonna come back and do another film probably. I'm not sure if we're gonna get the same Cable, because I don't want to say his name right now because I know he's been in 3 films this year, including Sicario as well as Thanos in Avengers Infinity War. I bet. I think honestly, I think Cable. He's a good Cable. He looks like Cable. He's kind of short. The scene where they're walking off, and then Deadpool's actually taller. It's kind of alarming, and Deadpool makes it known on the movie that he's a short Cable. So it's really funny. So I get the comments will let me know if what do you think is going to happen. And are we going to see X Force? Are we going to see the a new incarnation of X Force? We definitely are going to see. But what do you think is going to happen next? What do you think is going to happen in the next movie if we get another Deadpool movie? Because I really think everybody I've talked to have liked this film. So all right, you guys, like and subscribe, share this video, support this vlog. Oh my god, that's what happens when you're so excited about a movie review. All right, you guys, bye.